agenda is read and approve the minutes from the December 8th regular meeting.
I make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
Have a motion?
I second.
Okay, we need some discussion. At the very last paragraph on the front page, it's got Josh informed commissioners. John Rimmer informed that Josh is now, the wastewater department reports to him. We need to make that correction. Looking back to the manager.
I changed my motion to accept the minutes with the change of Josh to John.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Marshall to amend, second by Mr. Bruce. Any further discussion, corrections, or additions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are approved as amended. Second item on the agenda is a customer complaint by Mr. Melvin Watson. I did not see him here. Okay.
There's somebody that's sitting out front, or is that Mr. Watson?
No, that's his right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I hate to miss it. Okay, next item is bids on a 2012 pickup truck.
These are bids to replace my truck. My work truck I have is a 1999, and we're going to approve bids for Ford of West Memphis with a low bid of $27,040.88.
Is that put a trade in?
No,
Or is
sir.
that just outright purchase?
That's an outright purchase.
Okay.
Not sure if we're going to hand it over to the parks or what y'all want to do with it.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept the low bid for West Memphis.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Holmes, second by Mr. Bruce. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is approved to hire an engineer for backup generator to furnish utility campus.
We have talked about this for a long time, and with storms back in the spring, the whole city was out for a while, and there was concern. The gas pumps didn't work, our water treatment plant couldn't operate. Everything come back on and it worked out, but it really put a scare in us into where we could be. And so we're looking into, and I'll let Todd explain, but we're looking at putting generation in this whole campus.
As John was alluding, in April of this past year when we had that storm come through, I mean, basically the whole city was black, and I mean, our electrical guys, their first priorities was trying to get, sewer treatment plant, the flood ponds, and also this facility back on. It hindered us quite a bit in being able to mobilize and get going. So one of the things that we felt very prudent for future issues is to have this facility completely backed up with generation. The estimated cost is going to be about $1 million. It's going to be about a 2-megawatt unit. Some of the other improvements that's going to have to be made is Foster is going to have to reroute some overhead structures so that actually this whole facility is on a single breaker. And then we're going to have to actually tie it into the primary. That's one of the reasons it's going to be an exuberant cost. But that gives us the ability also to grow. But basically, right now, the way things are set up is our pumps, our gas pumps, which feed the whole city, emergency vehicles and everything, are on a different breaker than our actual plant. So some of that stuff he's going to get rerouted for us and help us in getting that available. So it's a single tie-in. If the power goes out, it's going to see it, it'll crank up, switch over to the generator, and then this campus will be back online. Some of the things that really hindered us was our ability to communicate amongst, with the radio system also. We have a small generator, but it's getting outdated and needs to be updated. Fisher & Arnold has done generators for us. They actually did the engineering for the generator down at the wastewater treatment plant, and they're very familiar with our system, and they're local, and I think they can do the best job for us, so that's why I'm asking that you approve them to move forward and finish the engineering. They will be doing the engineering for the generator hookup and the transfer switch. All this will be located in the back corner of the facility. That's what they're making. Yes, sir.
Are there any grant funds out there to help with that, like Homeland Security or something?
Not that I know of.
Every time that we've gone out looking for grants and hear that they're there, they say, y'all can take care of yourself, we have to take care of the little guy. That's usually what we hear.
We're not a little guy.
Not a littler guy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we went out several times. I know Josh tried to get some for the water facilities several times from the state, and there's a lot smaller systems than us that they tend to want to help more than us.
I was thinking on the national scale.
Yeah, I agree with
We're a
national,
little
but
guy. State, we're pretty big. Okay, have a motion.
I so moved.
What do you so move?
That we do Fisher Arnold.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Beck, second by Mr. Ross. Any further discussion? And the motion is to recommend Fisher Arnold. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is approve the cost of acquiring electrical facilities that serve Port Road customers.
Yeah, that's
Back on the hot seat.
Explain to you what that is currently, forgive me, it used to be the Riceland facilities, but the port, which is owned by the city of West Memphis, which recently got a new tenant called Bungie. Bungie, thank you. I want to say Bungo, but Bungie. But over the history of that facility, at one time actually the West Memphis Utilities built the line all the way to the port, but then because that specific area was never annexed into the city, the service of that was turned back over to Entergy. We want to be able to serve our own city facilities. It'll help the city with lower electric costs. Plus, I think for reliability purposes, I think it's better for us to have that as our own. So what you have in front of you is a cost estimate for purchasing it back from them. What that includes is $9,658 of cost. That's actually what Entergy paid us back in 1988, January of 1988, to purchase those facilities from us, and a gross, it's described as a lost revenue, where we have to pay the last year's average times 355% for their lost revenue, potential lost revenue. That's the other 18, or the other amount. So I ask that y'all approve this expenditure based on the approval of the annexation of that property. Did I say that right, David?
Yeah, we're going to be annexing, we're looking at revisiting the issue of annexing down to the port. This was something that was presented many years ago and never got off the ground, and we're going to go back and look at that again, and that's going to be a benefit for the industrial development of the area, as well as servicing the port, which, as Todd mentioned, is owned by the city. There's been a lot of interest in that area and some of the development going on there lately, and it would be in our interest to have that incorporated into the city so that we can serve it through our utilities.
Is this the figure that's been agreed upon by Entergy?
That is an actual Entergy proposal.
Okay.
If you look up at the top, there's a number up there that's 96,114,000, when we first started talking to Energy about buying these facilities, that's the number they give us to buy the facilities, the $9,000 number. And, you know, we kind of said, wait a minute, we sold you this back several years ago for $9,000 and now. So anyway, just a little side note there, but anyway, they did agree to sell it back to us for what we sold it to them for. Yeah.
And it says their profit times the 355, or is it their gross?
Their
revenue?
gross revenue.
So they, not only are they,
Yes, you're right.
Yes, that's a state statute.
You're right, Susan. We're
okay.
paying for the
Paying the
cost too.
cost too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
When you say that's a state statute, what's that mean?
That's by state law. that
This
we
is
have.
how we calculate it?
That's how it's
Law?
calculated by state law.
Oh, okay.
That's in state law that we're required to do that. I mean, for utility purposes, it's better to annex when there's nothing there. When once development gets there, it gets into a hefty cost.
Okay.
They put that in years and years ago. I think it discourages the development of co-ops or munis across the state because of the requirements of that.
Of purchasing it once it's already been developed. What's our potential revenue?
Free, yeah, no.
Okay.
That will be about a commercial rate. You gain about 3 cents per kWh. It's gonna take a while to pay it back.
However,
Unless there's
unless they're
growth.
going in large.
Unless there's
A
growth.
lot of growth down there, which
Well-
is kind of expected.
Buggy is planning an expansion down there right now.
Okay.
And there are other entities that are looking in the area as well.
Yeah.
Currently, if nothing changed, it would take a while.
I make a motion that we sell or purchase the property at the $76,171.54.
I second.
okay, I have a motion by Ms. Marshall to approve the purchase price at $76,171.54 and a second by Mr. Holmes. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
Are we planning on annexing anything else anytime soon?
Okay, discuss the status of the contract with Energy concerning the coal plants and power coordination interchange agreement.
Okay, just to give y'all a heads up of what's going on with this, just wanted to let you know what, as most of you, I've told y'all previously, the plans are our current foreseeable future. It appears that Entergy transmission system will be moving into the MISO region. When that happens, our current power coordination and interchange agreement, and I'm going to just refer to it as PCIA from here forward, will not be applicable to us because of the current structure of the system, the way the system is set up and what will change in the future. So we have started to have initial discussions with Entergy. We actually had a meeting the first part of January with all the co-owners of the facilities and discussing what changes potentially will need to be made in order to move forward with getting a new agreement. Entergy is asking that we have an agreement ready and all of us agree on by the end of this year, so it can be filed by FERC by the end of this year. As y'all know, this is very, very important to the city because this determines the pricing and how the power from our coal plants come to us. Okay, and as most of y'all know, how important those coal plants are to the pricing of these for our residential customers. We're currently, us and Conway pretty much have the exact same contract along with Osceola. We're all in discussions with some legal firms out of DC. We're looking for some firms that have very, very knowledge of operating agreements within the MISO region for helping us in the future. So some of them we're looking at is Spiegel and McDermott that we've used in the past, and also Nixon Peabody we've used in the past. But we're looking at getting some RFQs currently from those to see if they have experience in that. We're meeting again with Entergy the first full week of February to start looking at these. They have given us a draft. They're asking for some preliminary comments on some of the items. At our last meeting, several of the co-owners and several of the other entities, including ourselves, has already raised some concerns that were not in the initial draft. So, but again, this is going to be I think a very intense, hopefully not intense, but hopefully it will be a very important subject for the next year on us on how this occurs, and hopefully we will be able to negotiate something that will work out best for our citizens. But just wanted to give you an update on that, because over the next year we will be working on that, and probably next month coming back to you with a firm to approve to use for reviewing of our current operating agreement and then helping us in those negotiations. We will be also using still continuing to use our legal counsel, Dave Wilson, who we continue to use, but we're wanting somebody very specifically with the experience in MISO on this item, because of how important it is to us, and the difference between the current structure of an integrated electric company versus a financial market.
Do we expect our cost to go up?
Based on preliminary numbers, for what I've seen, no.
Yes.
I disagree, I think it will.
But Frank hasn't seen any numbers. That's just Frank. He just says change means some cost.
The only reason for change is increased cost.
The way that it appears, where you're located in the state could affect whether it's going to have a negative or a positive impact on you. And it appears, like Todd says, that
We're located correctly.
we're okay. Some of the other cities may have a more negative impact than us, but the MISO deal is so complex and so confusing that you go into meetings even with the MISO folks and you start asking them questions and they, well, you know, I'm not sure.
They don't even know. Huh?
Yeah, and so there's so much that we don't know right now, and so it's ongoing. We've been in these meetings, and there's going to be more and more in the future, and we're probably going to need more and more help trying to evaluate what we need to do and where we need to be.
And again, what I mean by preliminary numbers, it appears that way, is in the MISO region, your cost is determined based on can cheap generation get to you? Okay, is it available? We're in a pretty nice area as far as for cheap generation. We have 2 nuclear plants in the state of Arkansas, and we got several coal plants, okay? And we're on, actually, because there is a 500 kV substation just south of this city, okay, that allows that energy to flow to us, okay? That's why I say that. And that's why a lot of the numbers come in and say that. Now, something occurred, and it happened this past year, where that 500 line was down between Little Rock and West Memphis. What does that cause? That causes congestion on the transmission system. The way they fix congestion is by the price doing this. So, I mean, again, with the system intact, we're in a very good area. And the key of what I said is the system intact. I mean, we have storms, those things occur, so.
Yeah, we're all for you.
Well, you know, again, preliminary numbers say it appears that we're going to be able to keep doing business as normal, and that's what we're going to keep striving for.
Good. Good man.
Thank you.
Good work. Thank you.
Anybody got any questions? Don't understand enough of it to ask questions. I'll admit
Don't
that.
show our ignorance.
Right. Okay, the next item is a copy of the preliminary of the paper billing. I believe all y'all got a copy of that.
This is not exactly, but it's real close to what we're sending out as bills. And it's gonna be an ongoing, there may be changes as we go along to see what needs to be, changes here and there, but this is basically what the new bills will look like.
Okay.
Just kind of want to give y'all,
Looks good.
That's good, yeah.
it will allow us to give more information to the customers, give us a place to, it will allow us to do some things that we hadn't been able to just because of the size of where we can fit numbers. And so I think it's going to be good both to us and the customers. Frank, did you want to, that 100,000?
Yes, just to bring you up on date on some of the things. December of 2010, I came to you to ask you to loan the city $170,000 on the municipal court abatement of the courtroom and upstairs and everything, and at 3% interest rate. Well, we did that for 2 months, and then the general fund paid it back. And then I came to you back in the summer to ask to borrow $350,000 on a fire truck at 3%, which is 3 times the going rate. And we did have to do that. The city paid for it and didn't have to use that money. So we, at this point, the city has paid back all the loans that y'all were nice enough to offer us. However, we do have 2 things coming up this year that $100,000 roof on the police station, and we just purchased an ambulance for $210,000. At this point, I don't think we may need it, but I'm just asking just in case we do, can we renew that potential $310,000 loan at 3% rate that we didn't use last year? It would be okay with the commission if we, and the city council approves if we do this?
Do you need a vote on that, or just bring it to us at the time?
No, I will bring it back to you. It's just preliminary.
I mean, you've already approved $300 and some thousand that wasn't used.
Yeah.
And then what was used has been paid back, and so moving forward.
You just want to keep that line of credit there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will bring it back to you, but I'm just preliminarily asking for your
Nothing wrong with it.
approval, and then if we do, I'll bring it back to you for official.
Oh, good. That's right.
Anything else to come before us? I'd like to acknowledge our Coca-Cola representative. We have a new one today.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Anything else? Mr. Ross?
I make a motion, we will adjourn.
I'll second that.
Thank everybody for coming.